My name is Shauna and I'm coming to you from very, very hot Tennessee in our house on the farm in middle Tennessee, northern middle Tennessee in the mountains. It is Monday, June 18th, and it is extremely hot outside, and it's been extremely hot for the last week or so. So I meant to try to podcast this past weekend, maybe try to do them every couple of weeks, and I ended up getting busy and didn't get around to it. So I'm going to try it today, and hopefully I can get a quick podcast in before I go back to the hayfield. So my husband farms full-time, and I was teaching, so this summer I'm off, and I'm helping him on the farm with all the various stuff, raking hay and all that good stuff. So that's where we're going in a little bit, and I know it's extremely hot, but I still have to have my afternoon coffee. So just a plain Fiesta mug. Don't know if anyone else likes to collect Fiesta dishes, but I have a lot, and my husband tells me I don't need any more because if I get any more, they won't fit in the cabinet. I'll have to figure out a way to make them fit in the cabinet if they have any new colors. But anyway, it's been about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, since I filmed a podcast. I'm going to try to get this up on YouTube by tomorrow, but with the internet here, it's really slow, so who knows. But I have some knitting to talk about, not like a ton, but I thought I would share some sewing that I've been doing lately, and I didn't get a chance to do that last time, but I'm thinking about doing a Ravelry group. So I'm going to try to start a Ravelry group, and then maybe we can do a knit along or something. But for now, we'll start with a finished object, and I need to weave the ends in, but this is the Rhinebeck Roomies socks, patterned by Crazy Sock Lady, which is K. Hopefully you can't hear the TV in there too much, but anyways, so Crazy Sock Lady did this pattern for Rhinebeck last year, and I talked about this some on the last podcast. They were work in progress, but I got 2 finished socks. I followed her instructions for the heel flap, heel turn, and gusset, and I had never done a heel turn like this, but I really liked it. It was really easy to do, so I'm gonna maybe start doing that. I did do these top down like the pattern said. I did the something, oh, what was that cast on? Well, I can't remember. I think it was Tilly Buddy's surprisingly stretchy cast on or something. My calf muscles are really big just because that's just the way my grandpa's family, like, they all have large legs. So hey, we always have to make an appearance on the podcast. But I learned that if I make, the truck or tractors are going down. If I make the ribbing in 64 stitches, then if I'm doing top down, 64 stitch for the ribbing, then just gradually, like at some point, decrease to 60 stitches, and then do 56 for the foot, or the ankle and the foot, then that works out well. If I'm doing toe up, I start with 56, and then somewhere's, you know, around here, I increase to 60, and then 64 for the top. If I'm doing really, really tall socks, then I found that it works best if I do the ribbing in a half size bigger, or just a little bit bigger. So like, for instance, if I was doing these aren't super tall, but if I was doing them really, really tall, I would knit these in a size 1, and I would have went to a size 1.5 for the ribbing. Nomadic yarns, and this is the color McGonagal, which is on the twisty sock twist sock. It's the 80-20 blend that she has. I really like the twist, the high twist for socks. I think for me it wears better. So it's a little bit thicker. So I always, whenever I'm doing 80-20 blend, the higher twist, I use a size 1 for sure. Sometimes on 75-25 or thinner sock yarns, I'll use a size 0. It just depends. But anyway, the contrast was some I had left over. I think it was a Wolfiend one-of-a-kind color, but I don't think she's dyeing anymore. The last time I checked her shop, she hadn't got back to dyeing. She had a child sometime, I don't know when, last year or something. I don't know. I guess she's taken some time off. But anyway, that's that. Oh, I had these in my Luna bag from Liola Designs, and if you're into Harry Potter, definitely check out her bag. She has different characters, Luna and Hermione and Harry and Bellatrix, and then the newest one was Severus, Professor Snape. So they're all really awesome. But whenever I saw Luna, Luna is one of my favorite characters just because she's so quirky, I guess. But I just had to have it. So that's the finished object I have. Then we'll talk about the rest of the stuff, which really hasn't been all that much. I did start working on another block for my scrappy blanket, and talk some about that. I had one block done last week or last time, so I did the crochet ones last summer. Decided that there's no way in this world I was ever going to crochet enough blocks to make a blanket, because I don't really like crochet. I'm not very good at crochet. I have to like really count and look and pay attention, so it just wasn't working. So anyways, I followed the Crazy Sock Lady's Ravelry project page, I think, for how she did the log cabin. So for this block, yeah, I started here and I just picked up stitches and did this part, and then I decided I had enough of this left over. I wanted to do some more of it, so I just bound off, put it through the loop, and then just instead of cutting the yarn, I just picked up along here, knit for a little while, bound off, and then I did cut the yarn that time. So I'll have to weave in some ends. Then this is the same Wolfiend color that I used for the heels of the socks. This is Halloween color I Put a Spell on You, the Hocus Pocus inspired, from Sweet Tea Yarns, which is Molly Klein design. And I showed the Halloween socks I did with this last time, but I love that color. And then now I've started on Cheshire Grin from Knit Picks Felici. And I have quite a bit of it left, so I'm probably will do, I'm going to count, I compared it to the other one I did, so I'm going to do probably about 10 garter bumps here, bind off, and I may do the same color, the Cheshire Grin on this side too. I'll just have to see what it looks like. But that's that. And I'm using, I think, a size 2. Knit Picks doesn't have, it's a Knit Picks needle, rainbow wood, and it's a 16-inch, and I'm almost positive it's a size 2. And I also almost went in my coffee. But anyway, so that's that. It's just in a bag that I made last summer, drawstring bag. And that's about all I've been working on. I have worked on my Zweig sweaters some, but I thought I would get it back. It looks about the same as it did last time. But here it is. I think I have about 3 more inches before I start the ribbing. But I thought I would talk a little bit about my mistake on the Zweig. Just in case anybody else maybe makes this mistake. Maybe if you haven't knit it yet, you can maybe pay attention some. But anyway, so it has, you can see there's, okay, maybe you can't see. But anyways, it has some short row shaping in the back to raise the back neck up And so I've still got the beginning of round mark there, just because I don't know why. But anyways, so the beginning of round, she has you do that in the back, and then you do short rows, do the ribbing, do some short, maybe you do a row or two, an increase or something, then you do some short rows, and then you do another increase, I think, and start the color work, or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, whenever I was doing the short rows, I read the pattern, and it says knit however many stitches. And I missed the part where it said knit back or purl back or whatever, I don't know. But anyways, go to the beginning of the round, then knit 50 more or 60 more, or I don't know, whatever the number was. Well, I went to the beginning of round, no, I counted from where I was at, I knit the however many, turned it around, and then did my short rows, and I kept thinking, these short rows are awfully short, because we're only starting with like 40, 50, 60 stitches. I don't know the number now. But usually on the Sunset Highway, we had like a lot more stitches for short rows. So, I'm forgetting now. This may not make any sense. But let's say I was over here. I went back here, counted out my stitches, then I turned it, so my short rows were only like this much, from the shoulder to the center of the neck. And the whole time I'm like, I think I read it twice, really. And the whole time I'm like, this is kind of strange, you know, maybe the beginning of round changes and that ends up being the back of the, but anyways, I did all the lace, all the color work, the lace, this color work. I even did some, I got a text message, sorry, some, whatever it said to do. Then I separated for the sleeves. I tried it on, and sure enough, it was uneven. So my first thought was, there's no way, even though I like doing this lace, there's no way I'm ripping that out because I will never redo it. So then I was like, well, maybe I can just change the sleeves and like make that little bit of short row section in the back. But then I had the thought, you know, I could just pick up stitches all around, cut it like I would for an afterthought heel, unravel it, take the top off, and then work in reverse. So that's what I did. So I somehow figured out where the short rows ended, or maybe I can't remember exactly. But anyways, I picked up stitches in here, and I got however many stitches I was supposed to have on the needle, cut it, unraveled the top, and then you know, balled that all back up and started and reversed the short rows. Whenever I did it again, I forgot to change to smaller needles for ribbing, but I tried it on, it's fine. So I worked in reverse, I did the short rows, did a decrease, get back to the number, whatever number of ribbing stitches was needed, did the ribbing, which is pretty short ribbing, like 5 or 6 rows or something, and then I bound off with Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, which is my favorite. And it fits perfectly. So I'm very, very proud of myself for figuring that one out and not having to rip completely back. Because like I said, I would have never tried it again. I do love this pattern. I mentioned last time that this red and brown is it's on yak sock, and it's the Casian color, inspired by A Quarter of Thorns and Roses. Actually, I dyed it and then I decided it looked like Casian. Then this other I dyed specifically to match or to blend with this, and it's just a bare yarn with brown speckles. I used the same brown as I used in here. So this is on a 100% superwash merino 4-ply, and I'm calling it chocolate chip cookie dough. because it doesn't really look like chocolate chip cookies because it's not the golden brown, but kind of reminds me of the cookie dough before they get baked in the oven, you know. But the lace texture is so neat. Is it showing? Yeah. And so I'm really excited to be able to wear that next winter. Oh, I am also alternating skeins every other row, and because I was afraid it would like show up because I might not alternate, I might pull them too tight or something. So like this is the beginning of the round. Well, I put this extra little marker over here under the arm where the sleeve is here. So I put this extra little marker over here to alternate skeins on the side, and that's working out quite well. So every other round I just drop the one skein and pick up the other. So far I have quite a bit of yarn left, so so I'll have plenty for the sleeves, which is good. And then the last thing I've been knitting is a test knit. So unfortunately, I cannot show that because it is a secret test knit, but I will share the bag I've been using. I made this bag right after this is the first thing I made with my new sewing machine, and it's called the Knot Bag by Indigo Bird Design, and it's really cute. It ended up quite a bit smaller than what I thought it would be. I just didn't pay much attention to I wanted a small bag to put in my purse, and I didn't pay much attention to the actual measurements of the bag. I probably should have made the medium, but it still works. It's cute. It's just barely big enough for one skein and one sock, or one pair of socks. Probably not, if you're doing 2 at a time socks, probably wouldn't work. But with me, I do a lot of my socks on DPNs now, and I can fold them up nicely and they'll go. Then you can put it on your arm. So I need to make a bigger size because it is very handy. And I am doing the test knit socks, and it's okay. I'm doing the test knit socks in my Casian colorway on the yak base because I had an extra skein of it. So I thought I would use that. His excavator.
That boing hit the floor. That's what made that big bang. See ya.
Oh, you never know what's going to happen here. Okay. So
that was the same thing that made that big bang.
Really? I still haven't gotten around to sewing up bags or dyeing yarn to start any sort of shop. I know Etsy's changing their stuff, but I still may have to start with Etsy. But anyway, I don't know. I'm still thinking about doing a shop, yarn and bag shop thing, because I really like dyeing yarn, but obviously I can't knit with that much yarn. And so I'm hoping to work on that soon, like sometime in the next week or two. But anyway, we'll do sewing. So, oh, I do have some yarn stash coming, but it's still in the mail. I did purchase a mini skein set from Bad Wolf Girl Studios because it was the what is it, Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley, or vice versa, and it came with the Leaky Cauldron Simply Serving stitch marker. So I really liked the yarn colors and I loved the marker, and I don't know what to do with mini skeins, but I'll figure something out because, like I said, I love the colors, love the marker. So that's that. Can you go somewhere else and do that? I'm having a hard time talking over it. What are you digging up over there? A pipeline. Oh, well. You may have to go. Oh, wait, now stop doing that. You may have to go somewhere else and do your pipeline. But anyways, we're at about 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and talk. Oh, I also ordered from Dragon Horde Yarn. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I finally ordered from Dragon Horde Yarn Co. on Etsy, which she's moving her shop, but I ordered it a couple weeks ago, and it's supposed to be here tomorrow, and I'm really excited. I got the tribal color. I'm not really sure what it's going to be. I might put it in a sweater, a shawl, or I might make the Waiting for Henry socks, depending on what exactly it looks like when I get it. But anyways, now to sewing. I'll try to go through this pretty quickly because it's been 20 minutes and I probably have to be leaving here in just a little bit. But anyways, I got this book sometime. I pre-ordered it, so I can't remember when it came out. I think it came out in March. But I pre-ordered it from Amazon, so I got it probably the day it came out or the day or two later. But it's Tilly and the Buttons Stretch. And it's all about sewing with knit fabrics. And I love wearing knit fabrics, so this was right up my alley. It has several different patterns, and that's the table of contents. So it has a bunch of stuff. So it's not just the patterns. It's actually, the price is really good because it was way cheaper than if you had to purchase all these patterns separately. But it has like info about prep, like what, stuff about the different types of knit fabrics, because I didn't know. I'd heard or read somewheres about different stuff like sweater knits and French terry and I don't know what else. And so it tells about that. And then it talks about like it has pictures in here about like testing the stretch. Has a whole section on fitting the knit garments, adjusting, has a full bust adjustment, shortening, lengthening, broadening or narrowing the shoulders, and preparing fabric. It has all kinds of stuff. But anyway, it also has a special little section that talks about sewing, so the different stitches. My other sewing machine just had a few options, but then I got a, what is this, a Singer Quantum Stylist, and I can't remember the number at the moment. But anyways, that machine is awesome. I love it. And so this talks about different like narrowed zigzag and like how to set up the zigzag stitch, like how wide, how long to put it. There's also, and I wouldn't have known exactly what this stitch on my new machine did, but there's a little lightning stitch, and that if your machine does this, look up lightning stitch. I don't think you'll be able to tell from this picture, but it's got this little diagram of, you probably can't see, I don't know. It's got this little diagram of the stitches, and that little lightning stitch is so stretchy. It is amazing. And then it talks about sewing knits with an overlocker or a serger, and I don't have one of those, so I kind of skipped that part because it might make me want to buy one, and I don't need to buy anything else for sewing because I have no place to store it. But anyway, so it has this skirt. I don't think I'll ever make that because I'm not a pencil skirt person, but it's cute. And then it tells, like, if you've ever bought a Tilly and the Buttons pattern, they have really good color photos. And this one has color photos just like their patterns. Oh, here's another one. Whatever this, a pinafore dress. It just has things sort of like overalls. They don't snap, but it's got whatever those things are. Anyway, it tells you how, oh, this is my favorite one, the baseball shirt. And I've made a lot of those. I want to make some more. But it tells you how to, like, gives you ideas of customizing different things, like how to put an applique. So that's an applique right there. So it tells you like how to put an applique on your shirt, or turn it into a V-neck type thing for the baseball shirt. Oh, like this. Shows you how to customize it, make roll-up turn-up sleeves with the V-neck thing. Gives you more ideas of, you know, how to change it up to make it like you. Sometime I might try this sweater. That sweater has an option for a dress, and it has different neckline options. You might be into pleating, think ruffles or whatever. I'm not, but that's okay. This one, I definitely want to make this dress. I already have some material to make it. I like this cow neck, and so that's what the sweater dress looks like. I got some sweater knit fabric on sale from fabric.com. Has a hoodie and jogging pants. I may make the hoodie sometime if I can find some material I like. Sweatshirt fleece is hard for me to find. But anyway, what else is in here? It has where you can customize the hoodie into a sweatshirt dress. Don't think I'll do that. Oh, I did do the Joni dress. That was the first one I made from this book. It's hard to tell in here, but it does. Oh, here that's it on the cover. So it has this twist thing in the front. I really like that. It makes it look a little fancier, I guess, than other dresses. And I just realized I forgot to bring the Joni dress in. But anyways, it'll be alright. There's also, you know, something like the Joni dress can be used as a maternity dress, just make it a little bit longer. And so that's that. The patterns are in the back in this nice little sleeve. I didn't want to cut the pattern. Well, actually you can't cut the patterns because it's double-sided paper, but I used freezer paper, and I could see the lines, so I just marked around the lines and cut out the freezer paper and used that. So that worked out well. So here's the Frankie tees that I did. I did a couple 3/4 length, and this fabric came from fabric.com. Super soft. It was, what is that called? Brushed jersey or something like that. So it's really soft. I like the brushed jersey. This is another one, although the sleeves are wrinkled, but sorry about that. But another 3/4 length. This print right here is one of the art gallery ones. It's a bit more expensive. And then just plain gray. I did a couple of short sleeves. The other short sleeve I did is in the dirty clothes at the moment, but the other short sleeve I did had this material as the body and purple on the sleeves, I think. Yeah. But anyways, I used this to make a tunic last year sometime, and I had leftovers, so I made it into a short sleeve tank. This material was what I used for the Joni dress, and I had extra, so I made another short sleeve tank. Short sleeve t-shirt. This was sewed on my my old sewing machine, so it's not quite as smooth, but it'll be alright. And then the last thing that I've sewn is this tank top. So that's the front, and this is the back. And this is a pattern I got from Etsy, and I cannot think of the name of the pattern at the moment. But anyway, I'll try to put in a show notes somewhere at some point. But this is the first time I've ever done French seams, and they're quite cool. So if you can see here, there's no edges. Like, I didn't have to zigzag stitch it or anything. The seam is completely encased. So, you know, this side it looks just like regular, and then this side there's no raw edges. And to begin with, I was a little confused because I was like, because you have to like lay it right sides out and sew, and that's just opposite of how you usually do it. So it's a little confusing, but anyway, it's really neat and really easy to do. So French seams are awesome. The neckline has bias tape, or bias, you make your own bias binding. It has it in the pattern, and so it has no raw edges on the seam. You don't have to do interfacing or anything. So it's really neat. I like it a lot. This seam here is also enclosed because this top part, the yoke here, is double layered. The only thing I'll change whenever I do another one is the way this is done. I'm sure it was me. I done something, but this seam kind of is too bulky. I don't really like it, but anyway, it's fine. I'm not taking it out. I like the little pleat in the back to make it a little bit more flowy. I didn't take into account that my hips are a bit bigger than my bust, so I ended up doing, like, it wasn't supposed to have this curved hem, so I ended up splitting back, and then I ended up doing a curved hem to give a little bit more room around my hips, so I didn't feel like it was, you know, so it just flowed and didn't try to bunch up or whatever. And this is chambray, Robert Kaufman chambray from fabric.com. This plaid is from Hobby Lobby and it's 100% cotton. It's quite thin, so I think it'll work. Look good, maybe. And I got some shorts cut out and almost finished that will match, and someday I'll finish those. But I think that's all. Hopefully I can do another tank top. I found another pattern on Etsy. I don't know the name of it either, but it's made differently. It comes up higher, and it has like a little where you put a ribbon or something other and tie it, and so it's more of a halter top thing. But I want to try that, and maybe I can print that pattern off and cut the pieces out sometime this week. And I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to talk about. Hopefully everybody's summer's been going well. Mine's been really, really, really busy. We finally got my mom's bedroom remodeled, redecorated and everything. I got asked to help my sister paint, but then it turned out we did a whole heck of a lot more than paint. We did a whole wood wall thing where we stained 1x4s, or maybe they're I think they're 1x4s. You'd think I know because I cut all of them, but anyway, we got 1x4s from the local building center, stained them 3 different colors, dark brown, so dark walnut, special walnut, and classic gray. And then we put them on the wall, like horizontally, you know, and it looks really, really nice. And then they also got a new vanity, so luckily my brother-in-law and my sister got the vanity in. I had to paint it the other day. We had to take the wallpaper down. We had to put paint some of the walls, put more wallpaper up in the bathroom, and just as an FYI, wallpaper stinks. I hate doing, probably will never wallpaper again. Like, ever, ever, ever. I hate it. But anyway, that was a bad day. The wallpaper day was the worst. Definitely, wallpaper was the worst. We've been working in the hay. I've been knitting. I know it doesn't look like I've been knitting a lot because I don't have that many things, but I have been knitting as much as possible. And ever since Thursday, I cast on the test knit Thursday evening, and that's really all I've been working on since then, and I've got quite a lot of that done, but unfortunately I can't show it. I'm excited for it to be released because it is a very, very nice pattern, and I don't think there's anything else we've been doing that anybody would want to know about. So I guess until next time, hopefully in a couple of weeks. At the moment, I'm not getting. It depends on what day it is. Some days I'm lucky if I get 20 minutes of knitting, and other days I get a lot. So I also have been trying to do the elliptical in the mornings for 20 to 30 minutes, and I actually knit on some socks while I do that. Or this morning I knit on my little log cabin thing. So I get something small to knit on while I'm doing the elliptical. And so hopefully I'll have something to show in a couple of weeks and can get back on here and chat with y'all again, because I do enjoy showing, you know, I know I like watching what other people's making, so hopefully people like watching what I'm making. And I guess that's all. Oh, this little painting right here was given to me by one of my students this past year, and I love it so much, and I can't believe she gave it to me. But anyways, it's awesome. So I don't know where to hang it at the moment, but it's there. This right here we got from kindergarten. They did the cutouts of all the kids, so that's my son's silhouette, which I think is cute. Lamp that my husband made, which I can't get anywhere to find a lampshade. I need to go to Lowe's, but I haven't been to Lowe's. So guess that'll be that, and see you again next time. I'll get the Ravelry group started, and hopefully we can have some sort of knit along.